Alright, just sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device.
You guys look fine to me.
Well, it's because you're running.
So do you,
I'm
Pete.
running.
You look fine to me.
You look great in your weird storeroom. It looks like it's the Jets equipment room.
It is the Jets equipment room. He's broadcasting live from the Jets equipment room. Pete's the new Jets equipment manager. Aaron Glenn hired him last week.
Look over my shoulder right here. This is the old kicking that they used to use.
That's the old kicker standing there waving, right?
That's right.
Look at the little Tula. She's talking to the producer there. Talking to a cat. And a woman in a jumpsuit throws her a grapefruit.
All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, February the 19th, 2025. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always. It's none other than these two gents, Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, gentlemen.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Always. How's everybody doing on this fine February 19th evening?
Solid C
Freaking out
minus.
right now.
Figuring out?
I'm like expected father.
There you go.
Waiting
Well,
for the call.
folks, if you're not aware, we are trying a new it's not a new streaming service per se. It is and it isn't. We're trying a new way to deliver the podcast to you.
It's completely via fax.
It's completely via fax. Well, the good thing is I'm just looking on Facebook and it says that we are live right now. So that's a good thing.
Well, all right, look at us.
It's a
Step in the
new
right
encoder.
direction. It's a new encoder.
That's
Right. So we have our background we normally have. We have this background, so you see me and Harry in a mask, but I'm blocking Pete.
Yeah,
So
Harry and I are blocking.
right, exactly. But you
But it
can
doesn't matter.
get get hit. That's what this
Yeah.
says right here.
Listen, to paraphrase Harrison Ford to Mark Hamill, they're looking at that trouble.
Exactly.
They're looking at us and nothing.
Exactly.
Well, maybe
Exactly.
we
But
could
other than
change
so-
change the background.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I like the one with the microphone.
Yeah, the one with the
But
microphone.
John, you'd have to be all the way over.
Is there just a black background we can have?
It's kind of boring, isn't it? I mean,
Can we have Dolly Parton? Or
we can have Dolly Parton.
the
Feel the
Gabor
flowers?
sisters?
I think we should put Dolly Parton and Gonzo from the Muppets on either side of me in the background.
Oh, yeah, we could.
I think the Gabor sisters on each side.
And just like
There's like four of them.
facing me, like either way, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
John's one of the Gabor sisters.
Right. I'm one of the three.
Cletus Gabor.
Cletus Gabor. Jaja, Eva, and Cletus.
Yeah. Well, you got the right hat on.
This is true.
What does your hat say?
They are amazing. So there you go.
Amazing Mats or something.
Amazing Mets. Yeah, amazing Mets.
All right.
I have the new spring training hat on order. I'm hoping
It
that-
says high
You know, I
hopes,
would
inevitable
grill you.
failure.
Now, are you getting it because it's horrible, and you want to commemorate
No,
it, or
I
do you actually like it?
I actually like it. I think it's the round Mr. Met head with the sunglasses on. It's all orange on the top, and it says the Florida League on the side. I think it's pretty cool.
You have way too much free time in your life.
Not as much as you think I would.
Well, then you're definitely neglecting something important.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a different story. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Mm.
all right. So let's get this party started, if you will.
Sure. Let's get on with it.
And normally, let's get on with it. There you go. And normally, it's me pushing the buttons. I got a quick question for you guys. Is it just me, or is it you guys? Do you see the video choppy for us?
Yeah, it's a little choppy.
It's a little choppy, because I'm I'm not fluid and
Nobody gets on this to see us crystal clear.
no, we have more watchers on audio than we do rewatchers.
With more watchers on audio.
Watchers on audio. There you go.
Yeah,
Listeners on audio.
You guys look fine to me.
Wow.
Well, it's because
So-
you're running.
So do
that's
you,
because I'm
Pete.
running it.
You look fine to me, Pete. There you go.
Okay.
There
You look great in your
Yeah, we'll see what
weird storeroom. The Jets. It looks like it's the Jets equipment room.
It is the Jets equipment room. He's broadcasting live from the Jets equipment room. Pete's the new
Right
Jets
over
equipment
this.
manager. Aaron Glenn hired him last week.
Look over my shoulder right here. This is the old kicking that they used to use.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's the old
Yeah.
kicker standing there waving, right?
That's right.
Oh yeah, we'll see what the actual the actual video looks like.
Well, there you go. There you have it.
Hopefully, it'll be at least. Listen, there might be.
Might have to bump the resolution.
Yeah, well, Restream will make it the right resolution. Various platforms only bit rate.
Right.
You can blast 25K or K bit rate, but
Right.
So,
6 is fine for most.
But Twitch takes 6, but that's all they can handle, right? I mean, that's pretty much average for most people. You know?
Let me tell you something. They can handle more. They want more. It's just...
Well, YouTube, I think it's about it's either 8 or it's 15. Which
Jesus.
That's
not happening with this crew.
Maybe all together.
You want 15? I'll have to do you 3 times.
On a good day.
Well, there'll be a little extra.
There you go.
It'll be. I could get to 18, but
twice and then a stop for.
That's right.
Have a sandwich and a nap, and we're good.
Yeah.
There you go. So anyway, on that note, we should mention. I just wanted to finish mentioning that Pete is running things today from his end, so I can I still have a couple of things that I have to make notes of. But on that note, I did tell Pete this yesterday, and Harry, I'll let you know it. And I'll just say it live on the air because I was thinking about it. Why not? We're a good amount of our listeners on the audio networks, on the audio services, are in California, oddly enough. More than any other state, more than Jersey, more than Colorado, more than New York, more than any other state. Colorado, now, obviously, other states combined blow away California, obviously, but California on its own is our busiest streaming state for our audio program.
California, reach out to us.
Yeah, so comment in.
Nobody ever communicates with us.
Exactly.
It's probably just the bots are located in California.
It could be a bunch of bots.
There you go. It's the bots.
They love our podcast.
There's a big server farm in LA. That's
definitely not LA. It's Encinitas.
Encinitas.
Play music for plants, for the power.
That's right.
Encino.
Yeah. When they want their lawn to die, they put on Get On With It podcast.
Right. Yeah. Come on, lawn, get on with it. Right. Exactly.
But now the audio podcast that'll be out like
tomorrow. Yeah.
California, laid back.
What are we talking about today, guys?
I think we should start the show with the way we always start the show. Pete, you have the controls. Well, it's the meme of the week. What we have.
Yeah.
Meme of the week.
You know it, you love it.
You know it, you love it.
I don't think you need to lead into this, right, John?
Nothing needs to be let in. Just let it roll. Go for it.
There we go.
I don't know how thirsty you'd have to be to drink this.
Wow. The right price.
You're in the desert.
I mean, 110 yen for a bottle of Coca-Cola.
You're out in the hot sun and you've been working in the garden, let's say, playing music, pots or whatever. Nothing like an ice cold Coca-Cola.
I find that it's not as bubbly.
It's not really. It's a little flaccid, actually.
Yeah. But there's always that surprise at the end.
You get that little sip is always it's got a good wang to it. So
I knew that was coming.
Somebody had to say it. So there you go. The meme of the week, folks.
I like the new graphics almost make it tolerable.
There you go.
By the way, you guys probably didn't know this. I don't think I mentioned it. But meme of the week is sponsored this. And it's sponsored by China. China, yeah, we know. But the food is pretty good. China. So meme of the week. Thank you very much.
There you go. Thank you very much. Meme of the week, folks. Meme of the week. There you go.
Thank you, China.
All right. So do we want to get into the football? Do we want to get into
this? Let's do a quick recap of the Super Bowl. And then we can move on to some other stuff. There we go. So
take a look down on the field.
There we go. Down on the field under the lights. There's Patrick Mahomes crying. I see
lights.
Travis Kelce quitting. No, I'm kidding. Of course I am. Look, hey, as far as I'm concerned, the Super Bowl, as a Giants fan, do we ever want to see Philly or for that matter, any other team win? I mean, what's the difference, right? But especially Philly or Dallas or Washington. For me, I'm more of a Dallas despiser when it comes to that. But lately, I actually feel bad for the team, right?
Don't get sucked in.
I'm not getting sucked in. But look,
You got plenty to feel bad about yourself.
One of the two teams had to win. And I can't say I'm glad the Eagles won, but I'm glad the Chiefs didn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
I was just unhappy that the Eagles stopped playing towards the latter half of the fourth quarter, so that Mahomes' stats and the Chiefs' stats didn't look atrocious. Like I wanted a shutout. I wanted a fucking shutout.
Yeah.
I think
like 45-8 would have been a great score.
Yeah. I think I left where we were watching. I started the.
Right.
Still a legitimate blowout. I got home. I didn't bother watching. I watched the last two.
Right.
So yeah, it might have seemed closer. Or would have appeared. Look, the Eagles were better. They were the better team all around. And John, you and I talked Sunday morning, and I said, "Well, the refs might call this one more up and up." And get there, and I said, "Look, if they win, then yes, it's history and it's pro, and no one's ever done that. But all the hype and all the publicity and all that, gotten that possibility, they might not want that to go away, and it goes away if the."
Right, it does go away if the Chiefs win the game, and to your point too, you did mention in that Super Bowl, it's the special Super Bowl show that we did. You did mention that with all, I mean, if there is any, if there was any collusion, and we're not saying there is, and we're not saying it's a conspiracy or whatever, but if there was any,
I'm saying there was.
Oh, no, look, hey, I'm not saying that right now, right? For this particular conversation, that's not where I'm going. What I'm saying is, hypothetically speaking, if there was something odd and off, and the NFL was pushing a directive to get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift and all of the fandom that she's bringing along to it, and of course
and
the narrative of the three-peat and everything else, they had it. They don't need to continue to do it in the Super Bowl. It was there already. Right. Them winning isn't going to get them more viewership after the fact because that's the last game.
Yeah, well, the Eagles didn't allow the game to become questionable, or
right. Well, that's the other thing.
The game was never put in a situation where a call was going to dictate it.
Right.
So it was pretty much over at halftime.
Yeah, we had talked about that before on the show. That stuff only works if it's close.
Right.
If the game's not close, then refs, unless they really get crazy outrage.
Look, the Eagles defense dominated the game. Mahomes made mistakes that he usually doesn't make, although he did in the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. Same thing, they kind of pressured him, got to him, and Barkley certainly wasn't the reason. This was a very balanced Eagles win with nothing super miraculous on offense,
right?
And a great defense. And Jalen Hurts beat him with his legs.
He did.
And the defensive line and the offense
dominated.
Those were really the key to the game.
They were.
To put anybody back on that, and you're not giving them much.
The defensive line, I think, is the best defensive line I've seen in a very long time. You can. They dominated the game with 4 linemen. They didn't blitz very much, which is why they were able to smother the receivers. And look, Kansas City's one weakness, I think, came true. They don't have much of a running game, and they're not deep at the receiver position. And Travis Kelce, I just think he played one of his worst games ever.
It was definitely his worst Super Bowl, but I think it was one of his worst games, period. So,
all right.
Well, now, let me ask you about this, because I don't know if this has changed or not, or updated, but the Chiefs were giving Kelce till the middle of March decide if he's retiring. Like, we got the draft coming up, and we got to make plans. And you need to let us.
Right.
That cool or uncool? Kind of uncool, isn't it? I mean, it's reasonable in business, right? But this is one of the all-time greats in Kansas City history.
Let me tell you.
And you're like, yeah, we got a month to decide whether.
Let me tell you something. If the NFL has anything to say about it, he's going to be back. Even if he fucking sucks, he's going to be back for another year.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and listen, there was some talk about his line production here and all.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not, and I think obviously downside of his career, but if he's not that guy that he was a couple years ago or maybe last year, lesser extent he's deteriorating year after year, then why is it such a thing that you have to tell us next 4 weeks?
Yeah, why the deadline on it?
Because they want to make decisions. They want to be able to make decisions properly.
Well, why would they need to make?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
they probably want decisions before free agency, so they can go out and get somebody if they need to.
Yeah.
But they have a tight end that is opposite him that they can use. So I don't know why they would.
Right, but if he's not the outstanding number one for tight end that he be, then why the?
Well, because they have to get one of their other players to start dating Ariana Grande.
Right. That's not entirely false. So.
All right. Well, couple three things real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
NFL removing end racism from the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. Some sort of anti-political correctness.
Does the timing surprise you?
Yeah, you know what? No. Look, it doesn't. The timing doesn't surprise me, right? But here's my thing, and this is me. I don't need to look at the writing in an end zone to know we need to end racism.
No, I don't. Hopefully, no one does. But it's been there
many years.
So,
I know.
And look, is there anyone on the planet who turned on? Maybe they're not a football fan and on the game and saw that and they went, you know what? I think I will end racism now going out.
Right.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, look.
If you have something already for.
I don't think it should have gone away. I don't think it should have gone away. I think. I mean, but who made the call, right? I mean, did that look? We're not going to get political here, but right. And I will. To Harry's point, we're not going to get political here. Yeah. But
I'm speaking for me and Harry.
It's gone because Cheeto Mussolini told them to get it off the fucking end zone.
But no, did he though? I mean,
yes, he fucking did. Or somebody in his administration.
I imagine that's true.
And what's this box scroll across the screen?
It's fucking Elon Musk because I said Cheeto Mussolini. Distracting me now. Fuck you, Elon. Fucking cunt.
Anyway, don't hold back, Harry. Tell us how you really feel.
I'm not. That's one of the beautiful things about the last few weeks of freedom that we have.
All right. Anyway, my point is, I don't think it should have gone away. I don't think it should have been taken off. But I mean, if you're right. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you aren't. But if you're right, the government, and I'm just as a whole, most of the time they are, but as a whole, do they have the right to go into a privately, basically a privately owned entity and dictate policy?
No, right? but the fear of not doing that. Why do you think all this DEI requirements are going away? It's because there's a fear of actually complying with it and being against it because you'll be blacklisted.
I think if the NFL ever got blacklisted in any way, shape, or form from anything, that would be the fucking stupidest thing that anybody ever did. So
they didn't because they complied.
No, I don't think they needed to. Is my point. That's my point. I don't think they needed to. I don't think they needed a kowtow. I don't think they needed to do anything like that.
Well, the problem
that's just this man's opinion.
Half the NFL is on his side. That's what scares me more than anything else.
Yeah.
All right. So
there's the Super Bowl.
There we go. Next up, can we, love of God, get rid of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's getting
Is there
complicated.
any other place? Is there any other place that Roman numerals are
Well,
other than the?
you know
Super
what?
Bowl?
Next year's the perfect year to do it because it's 60, right? It's Super Bowl 60. It's the 60th Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Just end it with
good God.
LXI or LIX. Lix, yeah, LIX. Yeah.
Just call it the 60, or you know what? Better yet, just here, Super Bowl 2025. That way we'll
Super
know
Bowl
what
60 is
happened.
fine. I
what
mean, they've
year
been
it
calling it for
happened.
the last 59 years.
yeah,
They've been calling it Super Bowl 1, 2, 3, all the way to 59.
Yeah, that's right.
Super
If you go
Bowl
to
60. Super
I'm
Bowl
fine with that.
60.
Fine with that.
It's not going to happen. They're going to use Roman numerals, but
Yeah, I know.
you know.
I don't care.
So this year it was Super Bowl Licks, right? So next year it's going to be just LX.
All right. Last one here. Terry Bradshaw needs to retire, right?
Is he still playing?
Yeah. Yeah. And at halftime, he joins the crew on TV, and
You
that's
gotta
where
say
the
that
real
when I was
problem
taking a drink, didn't you?
takes a couple shots. In
His
the head, and then
numbers
he
were
gets
still
on
better
at
than
halftime.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, but it's but now it's Gronk that's giving him a couple shots to the head. That's
I
the
mean,
problem.
I thought I saw him back up for Stafford this year. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he's got to
or
get
not,
out of the
or not.
get out of
I say let him rip. Yeah,
I don't know. He was talking about
He's crazy. I love it.
somebody saying calling him boy or saying boy go win the game or whatever.
I like it. I want it. I want
some
more
of
of
those,
it.
Some of those on the
Look,
panel had some.
Look, I got to be honest. There was definitely 100%. Oh, that the one thing you're talking about too. Yeah, how he long turned a straight hand and went.
Like it's. Yeah, the two of them were like, "What is this?"
I mean, look,
man.
no one.
It was like this close to the N word.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, you take Grandpa out of Thanksgiving dinner. It's not that interesting. Let him rip while he's here. That's all I have to say.
That's a great comment. You take Grandpa out of Thanksgiving, it's not as interesting.
Fair enough.
But it's
All
very
right,
true
anything
too.
else
But
for-
you know what? Here's the thing, right? Go just humor me for a second here with Terry. We've touched on this before, but I've thought about this for a long time. That man took so many hits, insane hits, played with concussions, played through concussions. The fact that he's still chugging is amazing to me. All right, really, really is.
He's only 38 years old.
It was in Super Bowl XILLXD.
right.
You remember that?
Yeah. He was in the first Super Bowl.
He was in Super Bowl IX is what he no. Actually, he was at the first Super Bowl he was in was IX, right?
I don't know. I'm not going.
Well,
Look, I'm putting a moratorium on Roman numeral talk.
No, VII. VIII.
Whatever.
VIII. That was the
He was
first
in
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl CSI.
He was in Super Bowl IX too, but the first one was VIII.
Oh God.
III.
This is where the Asperger's kicks in.
All right. There you go.
All right. One other football related note. I don't know if you saw the quote from Cam Ward.
Oh, God. Well, all right. Let me just stop. Hold on. I'll take Terry Bradshaw at his age over Cam Ward any day. Cam Newton you're talking about, right? Yeah, not Cam Ward. Cam Ward. I thought you meant Cam Newton. Yeah.
No. Cam Newton. Those two should have a podcast. Him and Bradshaw should have a
Cam
podcast.
Newton, Terry Bradshaw, and Cam Newton, 100%.
Yeah.
We got to get them both
Bradshaw
on this
defending.
show. We have to.
Yeah. Gramps and
No,
Hat.
Cam
And
Ward said,
we'll just continue to talk, and the two of them could just
What
ramble.
did Cam
on back.
Ward say? I'm sorry. I thought you meant Cam Ward.
Cam Ward.
No. Cam Ward said, if you don't draft me, that's your fault. You got to remember, you're the same team that's got to play me for the rest of my career, and I'll remember. Relax.
So is
kid.
he saying that to 31 teams or the Giants? Is that what?
He is saying, I'm going to remember, and I'm going to shove it down the throat of the 31 teams that don't draft.
Well, who's number one? That's who he's talking to.
That's
The first team,
one
right?
of the more interesting games that are played by sewer workers.
Yeah.
Who's number one?
Right. But
my point is,
he's obviously
Cam,
talking about Tennessee, right?
No,
no, he's talking about anybody who doesn't
Cleveland's
draft.
number one, Tennessee's number two, Giants are number three.
Okay.
He's just saying, if you don't draft me, I'm going to shove it down your throat. Whoever.
Well, I like that. I like it. To be honest with you, I don't love him as a quarterback. I could be wrong on him. I don't. Yeah.
Well, here's a good reason not to, because arrogant.
They're all arrogant. Shedeur Sanders is the most arrogant. He makes his father seem humble.
He's not wrong. Dion seems tame
because there wasn't a microphone.
I'm going to stick it to you.
Yeah, because Shedeur Sanders doesn't want to be drafted by any of the first 8 teams.
Yeah, by any of those.
Oh no, he wants to go to the Giants.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. That's why he bought Giants cleats.
Well, he said he did.
Yeah. Look, if the Giants do not draft Shedeur Sanders,
caveat: if he's on the board at 3,
he will be. I'm done with them. I'm done with them.
If Shedeur Sanders is on the board at 3, the Giants are drafting Shedeur Sanders. I'm telling you right now, it'll happen. Because Joe Shane knows this is his job. Okay. And I don't mean this is his job to draft, it's his job on the line to get it right. And if he goes and he drafts, anything other than a quarterback, you know what? Here's the thing, and we'll talk about this in weeks to come, because like I said a couple weeks ago, we'll do a mock draft earlier than we normally do, right? Great. But and we'll retune it for that. But maybe
again, I don't think you should speak for Harry.
Well, at least I will. Well, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do one together. Maybe we don't do 3. Maybe we do 1.
He likes to take what everybody does and then pick an obscure offensive lineman to go forth.
Well, that's the idea, right? That's the good idea. Anyway, my point being is this.
Listen, I got a kicker in
my point being is this, right? If Shedeur Sanders, Dion's not letting Shedeur go to Cleveland. It's not happening. Okay, so Cleveland's not picking.
By the way, Cleveland still has a quarterback.
Right. That's my point. So if they don't pick a quarterback and they wind up picking Travis Hunter, which they probably will, all right, that means that Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders fall to Tennessee. Now, is Tennessee picking a quarterback? Are they going to see what they have with Will Levis, or are they going to take another quarterback 2 years after they took?
I think they're taking a quarterback.
Right.
And my concern is that they take Sanders.
That's what's going to happen.
And then the Giants are left with Cam Ward.
But do they take Cam Ward, or do they take something else of need? Follow me here. And trade back into the first round at some point in the first round and take Jackson Dart. Because I think taking Jackson Dart at 3 is a reach.
I don't like
him. In the first round, yeah, maybe. And I don't know if he'll last until the 3rd pick in the second round. But I think, look,
the Giants and Tennessee need to have a conversation. If the Giants need to give up something to move up to number 2 to guarantee that they get who they need, then they need to do that.
Give Tennessee
something. It's not for us to decide.
Right.
Yeah. Give them Joe Shane and every other fucking asshole who's been in the front office for the last 5 years.
Give them a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at that point, you're not wrong. Talk to Tennessee, figure it out, get Shedeur. Then Tennessee can grab Jeff Cam, and everybody's happy. Call it a day. There you go.
Look, I'm not sure of Jackson Dart. My gut on Cam Ward is that he's going to be good, but I think there's questions about him. People love his athleticism and his ability to run. I get all that. Shedeur Sanders is ready to go into the NFL right now. Mm-hmm. In half a season, he'll be where Bo Nix was at this year. Now, is he going to be where what's his name on Washington was? No, probably not. No, that was a miracle year for a rookie. Mm-hmm. But he can pass the ball. And this idea that he didn't have competition, or that he had way too more talent around him than everyone else, he had a worse offensive line than the Giants. He was trained to be on the Giants based on the fact that he had one of the worst offensive lines in college football here in Colorado. He's ready for it.
Yeah.
So he's used to it.
Well, what my point being is that he knows how to get rid of the ball. And all of these things that, he's not athletic. What are you watching? What are you watching something else?
No, because one pundit said he's not athletic, and then another pundit picked up on it without even watching and said it, and all of a sudden it spread like wildfire. But he's athletic. Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. He's athletic. He's the pick. If he's available for whenever the Giants pick, whether they talk to Tennessee, figure it out, whatever, he's the pick. He's the pick.
And all these other rumors, to your point, John, to answer your question, if he's not there, take Ward or take Dart. I don't care. Do not trade the farm for Matthew Stafford or some other third-rate quarterback. No. Matthew Stafford's not a third-rate quarterback. But I don't want to invest. I don't want to have Aaron Rodgers 2.0.
There's the only other thing that I would look at, and I'm not saying I want to do this because I want Shedeur Sanders. Yeah. The only other thing that I would look at is I don't even know what the specifics are on, and I can't imagine he's not a free agent. I don't know that there was any extension given by the Steelers, but Justin Fields. No. It wouldn't be the worst thing. I think it's a better fit for the Jets, to be quite honest with you, than it is for the Giants.
I'm not sold on him. I think Shedeur Sanders as a rookie is a better.
No. I said Shedeur Sanders is a pick in lieu of Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, he's not like Shedeur Sanders isn't there. Giants can't get him. Whatever. Tennessee's taking him. Whatever. He's gone. He's not gettable. Cam Ward or Justin Fields? That's my question to you.
Cam Ward.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go with the youth. Get somebody in there. I don't want to overspend.
Justin Fields is 25.
He's an old man.
He just played his fourth season.
I know, but he's going to be expensive.
I don't know.
He hasn't
that.
proven himself.
I don't know about
he hasn't
that.
proven himself.
Well, just remember, if you guys get Ward, there's 31 other teams that are going to remember what he said. Those defenses.
You know what? I don't mind that about him. I don't. The Giants could use a little fucking cockiness. You know what? I'm sick.
Cockiness is fine. But that's bulletin board material for years. The rest of my career.
Giants cockiness. Giants cockiness brought to you by Coca-Cola.
We had somebody who tripped over his own feet and made Eli Manning look like a pit bull.
Ballet.
Yeah. Lawrence Taylor was pretty cocky. Okay.
I would say so.
Well, Lawrence backed it up. Yeah. Cam Ward should come in and back it up.
If Cam Ward could be Lawrence Taylor, that's another story in itself. But.
Well, yeah, that's
look, even him not
he can throw the ball like Lawrence Taylor.
Even him not backing it up, it's still going to be better. It's still going to be. We can.
Well, yeah.
I don't want Joey Donuts or fucking Jimmy Rigatoni or some third-rate, Geno Smith's mother-in-law. I don't want any. No. Stop.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Come on, Johnny. Let's get it. Vodka.
Yeah.
Parmesan.
We're all Italian here, so that's fine.
I want it. Yeah.
John sausage and peppers.
Sean sausage and peppers.
Yeah. Manny Manigot. I don't want it.
Manny Manigot.
Muscles
Marinara. Knuckles Paisano. I don't want any of them.
Joey Gabagool.
Okay? I just find a quarterback and get them in there. And don't draft them from a basketball school.
Anyway. I will be. I'll tell you more about it later. I'm not going to say it on there, but I will be in the company of Mr. Tommy Cutlets in about 5 weeks.
Are you going to be for the opening of his at
a private function?
Oh, he's going to be signing autographs at Sports Authority in Clifton.
No, private function. Private function. Family function.
He's getting an entree.
Family function.
What a brag.
Waterwood.
Yeah. Family function. There you go.
Yeah.
I'll have a convo with him and a drink. Why not? I'll do it. I'll talk to him.
Again, nothing personal.
All right.
But we are the New York Giants, in case we've forgotten. Let's get back
I didn't forget. Some of them may have, but
let's get back to it.
Yeah. All right. And Pete, on that note, how would you feel about the Jets signing Justin Fields?
Give him a shot. Why not?
I think he's got an upside. I really, really do.
So too. Listen, there's other things they need to do. So why not give him a shot and some of those goals?
You know who Justin Fields should sign with?
Who?
The Eagles.
Really?
Because Justin Fields would be a perfect backup for Jalen Hurts. That's the team that Justin Fields would excel on. is a team that has a great running game. The Giants don't have a great running game. We had it running back, but we let them go and win a Super Bowl.
True.
So,
Jets have good field position.
Well, that's what I've heard.
But they need to fix it.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, they got a great punter and a really great long snapper.
They got Breece Hall is a legitimate running back.
Bad year.
Good Wilson. The good Wilson.
The good Wilson.
But
yeah, I think
you got to give whoever it is time. But with a guy who's a little bit more mobile like Justin Fields, not that you obviously don't need to fix it more offensive. But get a little bit more leeway with a guy like Fields.
I'm not sure the Steelers don't go with Fields. I'm not sure that Russell Wilson is there to stay.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
So, did you see the post that got put up there today?
Yeah, do you want to put that up now?
Well, let's talk about this before you put that one up.
Okay.
Your head coach, Aaron Glenn. He has screwed over Aaron Rodgers multiple times.
Well,
okay.
Like him.
Aaron Glenn's last game ever as a player, he kicked the shit out of Aaron Rodgers in 2008 when he was on the Saints. And like they annihilated the Saints annihilated the Packers. Right. Aaron Rodgers' last game as a Packer, Aaron Glenn's in Detroit, his defense kicked the crap out of Aaron Rodgers and kept him out of the playoffs. And now, of course, Aaron Glenn kicks him out of the Jets. So there you go.
Well, I hope that was the case. Was Aaron Glenn?
I don't think, honestly, I'm not saying that Aaron Glenn was against it by any means, but I don't think it was his decision. I think it was a money thing. I think it was Woody Johnson. Hey, let's be fiscally responsible. Let's save $40 million and call it a day, kind of thing.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
I don't need details. Just yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Does Aaron Rodgers start in the NFL next year? This upcoming season?
Yes. I honestly think it's going to be Pittsburgh. I think he will be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. I'm
not so sure. I think it's 50,
or at least a starting quarterback.
I think it's 50
for the Pittsburgh Steelers next year.
I think they're going to have 3 starting quarterbacks.
Well, no, one of them's got one. They're not going to have Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers.
Keep them all. They're just going to keep. They're just going to
every other play.
And Matthew Stafford. Yeah, they're just going to. Kirk Cousins will join midseason.
Put Rodgers
and what's his name? Joe Flacco will have to make an appearance.
Of course, go ahead, exactly. Oh, you gotta love it.
I think Joe Flacco starting for a team next year is as equal odds as Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers has burned some major bridges, and I'm not. I think he's going to. I think he's going to get the Bill Belichick treatment. I think he's going to find it a lot harder to find a starting job than he thinks, with what he wants.
Right. Yeah. No shit.
And I'm not sure how motivated he is to play.
I don't know how motivated he is to play either, but I think I don't think he's going out. I don't think he's going out on this season. Okay. And the irony of this whole thing will be is if he doesn't get picked up by the Steelers or anyone else, and he doesn't, and Sam Darnold winds up leaving Minnesota and going to another team, and Daniel Jones winds up leaving Minnesota and going to another team, and J.J. McCarthy's not 100% ready, could you imagine if this whole damn Brett Favre parallel universe continues and he goes and plays one season in Minnesota?
He's going to have to get
he's
going to have to get a flip phone and take some grainy photos.
Right. Exactly.
And steal some money from.
Yeah, that's a few years down the road.
It's down the road.
Yeah, right. He's got to go to Minnesota.
So cool. Yeah, throw up the graphic.
All right.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting, and a way to segue us into baseball. So a little hot stove. Yeah, everybody's, or for the most part, most everybody is in Florida or Arizona, for that matter, depending on the team and the locale. Spring fever is running rampant right now, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm buying into it. I hope spring's eternal. I'm ready for baseball. I was ready for baseball in October, but that's besides the point. Look, Pete finally signed with the Mets. I'm just bringing it up first, obviously.
RadioPete signed with the Mets.
RadioPete signed with the Mets.
Congratulations.
He's got a 2-year, $54 million deal.
You still able to catch?
Yeah.
DH. Yeah, it's DH. Really. I'm a light hitting DH.
He's a DH, light hitting DH. Yeah. At end of the game in a blowout, either way.
We need a light hit right now. We need a Rod Carew single through the left side. Yeah.
If you
the king of seeing eye singles is what he is.
You're a light version of Daniel Vogel.
I was going to say you're more Bartolo Colon at the plate. Yeah.
or a heavier version of
heavier.
Less hitting, more belly.
Yeah.
Vogelback girl. Yeah.
Vogelback girl. Oh, God, no, don't do that. I'll be singing that all night now.
Yeah. And that means
it always means something.
Yeah.
But Pete Alonso finally signed a contract. It was Super Bowl weekend, right? Or just after. 2 years, $54 million, $30 million for this year. Opt out after this year. So we'll see what comes of it.
I mean, I don't know why it took so long.
It's ridiculous. It makes Soto better. It makes the lineup better. It makes the team better.
Did you guys see Major League Baseball's updated for 2025 top 100 players?
I did not know.
Okay, it was on last week. Maybe next show we could talk about it because I thought it was rather interesting. Okay. And I was kind of looking and saying, okay, which team has the most players in the top 100? Which team has the most people in the top 50 or 20? Of course, we all know the answer to that. It's the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to see where people rank. And Pete Alonso was still relatively high. I think it was number 39, as far as top baseball players in baseball right now. So, well, maybe, but I'm sure the year before he was 16th or 22nd or something. My point being is that it's hard when you combine pitchers and position players. But my take on baseball is, unless there's a fire that comes through Dodger Stadium, nobody's beating the Dodgers. Nobody's beating the Dodgers.
If you want to have a shot, you have to spend $1 billion.
And almost sort of do things that, to me, seem borderline sketchy. Yeah.
Although I will say, Uncle Steve adding Vlad Jr. team, and again, this next team that came closer to beat the Dodgers than anybody else. That would certainly put them in the realm of possibility.
It's not going to happen.
But it is an awful lot of money.
One of the things in Mets.
I do like how Steve said, "Hey, I'll let the money guys,
baseball guys, not the baseball guys.
Yeah, let the baseball guys deal with that." But who knows?
He doesn't want to tie up too many long-term contracts because it leaves you less options. That's just chatter. He clearly wants Vlad Jr. and whether he gets him or not is a different story. But he clearly wants Vlad Jr., which is why the reason, as far as I'm concerned, I believe that they took so long in signing Pete Alonso. Whether they move their options around.
Well, it's also
no.
It's
so
also why
they could get the deal they wanted to get. So they had the option to get rid of him and bring in Vlad.
Well,
if they need,
I also think it's the reason why the Yankees have not signed a third baseman and why they signed Goldschmidt to a 1-year deal.
Right.
Or not? Yeah. No. Who did they
Look,
sign?
as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be 3 teams involved in Vlad Jr. next year. 4 teams, really. Toronto, obviously, but the Mets, the Yankees, and the Red Sox.
And he'll probably wind up on the Dodgers.
And he'll probably, If he winds up on the Dodgers,
Freddie Freeman will retire, and
just call it a day. I mean, this is something needs to be done about the Dodgers because, look, if you talk about the evil empire with the Yankees and all of that,
it was never this bad.
It was never, ever, ever this bad. Not even close was it ever this bad with the Yankees. The Dodgers are just printing money in not an illegal.
Well, they're deferring so much of it,
in an immoral, unfiscally responsible way, just to be able to win. I mean, look, here's the thing. The only thing you can hang your hat on is after a certain amount of time, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years from now, the Dodgers are going to be shit for a long time.
No, they won't.
No, they will.
Well,
they will.
Listen, you have to probably wait 3 or 4 years for them to.
I think it's 6, 7 years. They're going to be solid. I mean, who cares 10 years from now? I mean,
like what's, what's the cap going to be 5 years?
They already raised it, by the way.
7 years.
Right.
So a lot of that deferred money is just going to more room.
Yeah, that Ohtani contract's going to look like chump change for somebody who hits 219 with 27 home runs and 128 RBIs.
Right.
Is the top 100 players? Is that the thing Michael Kay was out about?
I don't know. Probably.
It was.
They ranked Ohtani higher than Judge.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, listen. Dodgers. If you want to say the good thing about what they're doing is that they will bring about change, if they're exposing loopholes.
They're smart. They're smart.
Yeah.
It's like when Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors. Why would you want to do that? Grow some
win championship.
Yeah, but
it
feels icky.
Yeah, I agree.
You heard it here, folks. Folks. It feels icky.
Yeah. You remember me ranting and raving when the Yankees passed on getting to first base, and I said the Yankees have to go out and get Freddie Freeman. And then I think Freddie Freeman should be number 1 on the list. It's all about the postseason. It's all about what you do in the postseason.
Anybody pick up?
And as far as getting excited for the spring, Stanton's already hurt, and now Austin Wells hasn't swung a bat.
Right.
So
anybody pick up on what I just did, by the way?
Yeah. Nobody cares.
No. Icky Woods. The
yes,
I
was trying to let it go away.
I know. There you go. But you're 100% right, Harry.
Swizzle stick.
You're 100%
your swizzle stick.
You're 100% right. Seriously though, Harry, you're 100% right. I look, whatever. Look, they're not unbeatable. They're very difficult to beat. Like almost like to the point that they're really, really, really difficult to beat. But they're not unbeatable. The Mets won 2 games, right? And the Mets
are obviously
the Mets are better this year. So
yeah, I think the Mets maybe don't. When I look at the Mets and the Yankees, honestly, I think that they're very even. Only because I think the Mets have a much better lineup,
right?
And I think the Yankees have better pitching.
The Mets have The Mets have a much better lineup than the Yankees.
But I think the Yankees have much better pitching.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
The Yankees have.
We said this last year. Let's put them together and make one big team.
Maybe we could beat the Dodgers.
Right.
Let's talk about that lineup. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be almost like the top end of the Yankees lineup last year. But then you could throw, Lindor. Oh, imagine Lindor leading off with Soto and Judge, and then Alonso.
Followed by Vientos.
Yeah, and then you could, Stanton could bat 9th.
Stanton could bat 9th, a natural 9th based on everybody else. Yeah,
and then I don't have to go through Volpe and Cabrera or Oswaldo or one of the Waldos.
One of the Waldos
swinging at dirt. I don't have to cringe at DJ LeMahieu getting up and having no feet and trying to bunt to his way to first base. Yeah, well, that would be nice. Yeah.
Well, that would be very interesting. Nice.
You could platoon. You could give Alonso a couple of days off, and imagine your options at DH with Stanton, Goldschmidt, and Alonso. Oh,
mm-hmm. And Marte.
Well, Marte would. Marte would probably start in the outfield, right?
No, I mean, I think you'd have. I think you'd have Soto,
Judge,
and probably Nimmo of the rest of the outfield.
Brandon Nimmo would start. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. The Yankees would be 4/5 of the starting rotation. The Mets would be 7/9 of the actual field positions.
Right.
All we're bringing to the table is
the pitching,
Judge,
and Judge, pitching and Judge. Right. Exactly. And
Yeah.
and I don't
Combine
mean
them
anything by this against the
4-3 in the
Yankees or
World
anything
Series
else,
of
but I'm going to
Dodgers.
ask you, Harry, your opinion.
Yeah.
Based on what, and anything can happen this year, right? We don't know, sophomore slump, whatever's going to happen. Hopefully it's not the case, but based on what transpired last year, who do you trust more in the dugout managing the team? Aaron Boone or Carlos Mendoza?
I think it's close. I don't think
I mean,
either.
I mean, they worked together for how many years, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of similarities in some things, but
I think they both at times do things that make me scratch my head. What I like about Mendoza is that he keeps the lineup when he can a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
Boone is a tinkerer, and I don't love that. And I don't think he makes the best decisions. I think they both tend to pull their pitchers early. I don't know. I don't care.
it's safe to pull out early, right? I mean, that's what it really boils down to, right? So,
I mean, sometimes you pull out before you're in. Yeah, I don't
exactly.
know. Yeah, I mean,
Hey, you want to save your energy.
if you're
for
hard
next
and
time.
pumping, keep going.
Just keep on rolling.
Look,
All right.
I don't like
This
relying
Gauss is
on middle
good, man.
relievers
Giving up
or
the ball
the
and
history of post
left
Mariano
the mound,
closers.
but it's-
So yeah,
And some pre-Mariano closers too. But
and you guys as Met fans also know the letdown that a bullpen can bring.
Oh, please.
So.
Please. More than you do, my friend.
Oh yes, without a doubt. I know. We lose games 3-1. You guys lose games 8-7 after being up 7-2.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, I mean, it would be a good team,
Mhm.
but it's not going to happen. So I don't know. What are you going to do?
So let me ask you one more question on the Yankees.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Will Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt combine to replace Juan Soto?
I think you can't look at it as replacing Soto because I do think this, and I've said this before. In the past, I thought Soto, I didn't watch him every day, and I thought there's something overrated about him. My opinion of him is complete opposite. There's something underrated about him. I think if I need a hit,
he'll get it for
in a clutch or for somebody to get on base. I think there's very few people. I think there's Mookie Betts. I think that there's Freddie Freeman. I think there's Juan Soto. To me, even above Judge and Ohtani, when it really comes to crunch time, there's something clutch about them. Now, I do think Soto is a below average fielder. And he does some goofy things, and you guys will be privy to that. But he's also there's intangibles to him. And so I don't think Bellinger and Goldschmidt they should hopefully exceed his totals in home runs and RBIs. They better.
Yeah, that's two. But that's 2 of your 9 places on.
That's what I'm saying.
Lineup, yeah.
So no, they're not going to replace him. I have hope for Bellinger. I like the Bellinger acquisition.
I've always liked Cody Bellinger.
I think I think right field for Cody Bellinger is in Yankee Stadium is I think having a lefty in that lineup is going to be helpful. Goldschmidt, I just don't know. Where is he in his decline? Are we just getting Anthony Rizzo part 2?
No. I think Goldschmidt's going to give you more than Anthony Rizzo.
I agree, and I'm hopeful for that. I still think we're weak at third base. I'm not sold on Volpe. I'm not sold on Wells. Stanton's hurt.
I think you need to back off on Volpe a little bit. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. Volpe will be fine.
We'll see.
Until he's not right now.
And they're going to push Jason Dominguez into the starting lineup.
Of course they are. No, that's they're definitely going to push that narrative.
Do I think Starling? Do I think Jazz Chisholm is Robbie Cano? No, he's not. He's not even close. And
Robbie Cano, don't you know?
Yeah. And moving Judge to right field will be helpful. Save him a little bit.
Well, he's better than Robbie Cano when he was on the Mets. I'll leave it at that.
But I'm saying, so Chisholm will probably go back to second base, and
that's great.
And I think the Yankees missed out on getting a third baseman. I really do. I think that they just came short again of doing what they needed to do they did better than previous years in the offseason, but just short. And I think I don't want to see a platoon of Cabrera, LeMahieu and who knows who else at third base. The bottom of the Yankees lineup is weak. It's weak.
It is. It is. You're right. You get past 5, but I mean, most teams have.
I mean, it's
Most
not true
teams
of
you
most
get past
teams, though.
5. You get past
That's why
5. It's
Am I
filler.
mad that
That's the bottom of the
Verdugo's
lineup,
gone?
because
No,
not-
he had a
not
bad
good.
year. Gleyber Torres, okay, who I've been hard on for years.
You've had a hard on for years.
No, I've been hard on him.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually got a hard on for him last year towards the end.
in the postseason he was fantastic.
And all year he was really fantastic.
Well, now he's Detroit's problem or help, the way I look at it.
So are we better overall? No. Do I think we have we go a little bit deeper into the lineup?
Mhm.
If Stanton's healthy, then you got 5 spots where it's a tough out. And if Volpe can improve, then maybe 6, but 7, 8, 9 is going to just be a lot of swings and misses.
Why is 6 afraid of 7?
Yeah, because Austin Wells is batting 8th.
There you go. Exactly.
I'm not sold on Austin Wells. I'm not. If you look at his numbers, he's not that great. I don't know why everybody's.
I'm much more sold on Volpe than I am on Austin Wells. So, and not that means like I'm a Volpe fan. I'm just saying
would I rather
I'm much sold. If I had to pick one or the other, to keep one or the other and get rid of the other one, I'd be keeping Volpe and getting.
Would I rather have seen Trey Turner or Corey Seager there?
Of course you would have. Please, of course.
But that's what the old Yankees would have done.
So on that note, let's switch up to Colorado for a second. I just want your take on what's going on out in Rocky Land.
Nothing.
Is it going to be better this year, or
No.
more of the same shit?
It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be the same shit. Look,
I'll be out there this summer, and you and I are going to Rockies game.
The Rockies have some good talent. I will not be surprised if Ryan McMahon is traded. And actually, I think McMahon would be a great acquisition for the Yankees for third base. Now his numbers maybe are a little elevated due to Coors Field, but he's a good third baseman, and he's probably the most.
Well, I mean, everybody's numbers are elevated.
No, it's true.
Field, so.
It's true. If the Rockies continue to, here's the weird thing about the Rockies is they have ability to actually bring up some really good players in their farm system. Most of their best players have been homegrown over the years. And I think they could continue to do that, but they're a long ways away.
Yeah, they're a bit away.
I think you're going to see a repeat of last year. Maybe we could see a little bit of improvement, because I do think that they could probably win a couple more closer games. But it's the same old problem. We don't have any depth in our pitching, and the guys who seem to have one good year can't back it up the next year with another good year. And, arguably one of the best Rockies of all time is gone. Were his numbers down? Yeah. But Charlie Blackmon is big shoes to fill. So will I be sitting there in the roasting sun behind first base, probably in a couple July games, more interested in the team that they're playing? Probably. But I'll still root for him. And
of course you will.
I don't think they did anything of significance in the offseason. And they never do. And except the one year they signed Mike Hampton, and who was the pitcher from the Yankees that they signed and who got arrested soliciting a prostitute. Anyway, they finally went after pitching one year, invested millions of dollars in Hampton, and who was the Yankee pitcher? Anyway, same year, same offseason. And they both imploded and were never good. So I don't know. I think they have to build through their farm system. And I think that, they need to be smarter in how they leverage some of their talent. They did pretty well when they got rid of guys who were probably other teams would have re-signed, but they got rid of them. And if they continue to do that, they might be able to piece together something. They made it to the playoffs a couple of years ago. Yeah, I mean, they made it to the playoffs a couple years ago.
Be a competitor. I mean, if they don't spend,
that's the problem.
Yeah, but if you don't spend tons and tons of money, you can build all you want through the farm system. Yeah. It's possible to really have that magical year where 3 great rookies up and a couple of veteran guys that you got on the cheap, and Somebody who's
No.
dominated
No,
their
No, if they were serious
happen.
and over the last couple of years went out and got up top a big name shortstop or a big name outfielder and convinced somebody to go there instead of going to Detroit or Toronto or some of the, kind of comparable landing spots, that would have spoken volumes to the fan base. But the problem is that people go to the games anyway. They don't. The ownership for the Rockies is not invested in winning. There's no motivation.
They're not.
Which is
They
unfortunate.
They got to a World Series in what?
Which is
07?
unfortunate because every other
years
organization here has been. Even when the Nuggets had Carmelo and they didn't necessarily, they invested. They went out. They got the players.
So in their 15th season, they got to a World Series, and it's 18 years since then, and they haven't been back.
Well,
so.
Yeah. There's lots of teams that haven't been to a World Series in 15 years.
Of course.
But
and on that note, the Reds, I think personally, my personal opinion, my personal opinion.
Your
my
personal opinion?
Yes,
just you personally.
Me personally,
not anybody else personally. You personally.
My personal opinion.
You're talking about the Reds.
The Reds, Cincinnati Reds.
We have had enough.
They got because of the Rule 5 draft.
Your personal opinion
and some injuries that they actually did let materialize, and not address straight away. They got rid of probably one of the better pitchers that they could have had on their roster right now. But
they re-signed Pete Rose,
and they, but that man is marrying my daughter in April, so there.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So my son-in-law. So,
he's
Pete Rose is my son-in-law. There you go. No,
son-in-law is Pete Rose.
I can't reach it right now. It's up there.
I met the guy.
Corey Heitler he pitched for the rookie bowl, single A and double A. But then he was Heitler.
So he's no longer playing.
He
never played.
Yeah, just make sure you include the E.
Times that get mispronounced.
Really. And after the end of next month, it will be my daughter's last name too. So there you go. So.
And she might have a chance pitching for the Reds.
She may very well have a chance pitching for the Reds. She's tried out a couple times, but
she could come here to. She could come to.
She was a very good softball pitcher when I coached her.
She could end up being the second.
She could be a middle reliever for the Rockies. Because that's pretty much what it is. It's batting practice.
There you go. So anyway, on that note, Pete, you have anything else in baseball?
No, nothing else for baseball.
We got we got another 6 weeks of 5.5 weeks.
Healthy.
5.5, 6 weeks of spring training, and then we're on to the regular season. And like I said, I did want to get down to. I did want to try to. I had hoped to get down to spring training this year, but it's not going to happen. But we'll.
You're going to be all right without you, John.
I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. But in any event.
Yeah, the All-Star weekend was the worst
anything
ever
for basketball.
I think this might be the one year where even the favorites, the Oklahoma Cities and the Celtics, I don't think there's a clear-cut, no-brainer favorite in the East or the West. And if you look at who's getting hot right now,
top three teams are Oklahoma, Boston, and the Knicks. As far as I'm concerned, those are your top three teams right there. And Cleveland, you can round up for.
Cleveland's better than the Knicks.
No.
Yeah,
but
there was when the Bulls were winning 71 games. There was.
Maybe either out of the West
State a couple years ago.
Okay, well that was 40 years ago.
I think last year Boston was a clear favorite.
Right, but coming out of the West.
Yeah.
But
they're shaky, but last year they were a clear favorite and they won.
Yeah, but they're shaky. They've been.
My point in saying what I said is that there's only one clear favorite out of the West, and that's and that's
So-
Oklahoma.
So
And that's
OKC
Golden
is
State Warriors now that they have Jimmy Butler.
Well, yeah, now that Butler's out there, that's true too. But East, that's very, very, very true.
yeah, but he might only be
Very
there for a
true.
month.
But you're definitely, between Boston, Cleveland, and New York, you're not.
Hey, folks, the Nuggets went into the break hot. And Michael Porter Jr. continues to score 30 points a game. They're going to be hard to beat. But I do think Oklahoma City is the real deal. And, I've been saying it for years that SGA is amazing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the Knicks, to your point, I do think the Knicks are built for the playoffs.
Definitely.
And I think they have a lot of depth. We talked about it. And they have
a lot of depth.
Two starting all-stars. So no other team can say that, really. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And Draymond Green thinks it's boring.
I'm just waiting for the day while we're doing this podcast that the NBA championship series is the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for, because I want to hear Harry talk. That's what I want. What will you do, Harry, if that is the case?
I'll root for the Nuggets.
Really?
Absolutely. I don't love the personalities. on the Knicks.
Fine.
I want to see
No.
Jokic win 4 championships.
Fair enough.
Now, if it's the Knicks versus anybody else, I'll be pulling for the Knicks. But I'm not a big fan of their stars. I'm just not.
That does it have to do with the team that
I don't love them. I like him.
I
like him. I just
he doesn't love him as much as he
loved him a
loves
couple
Jokic.
of years ago.
Now, would I rather see Jalen Brunson playing with Jokic here in Denver? I'll give you Jamal Murray. Yeah, without a doubt.
Sure, why not? And a ham sandwich.
Here's the
You'll
weird
have to
thing.
throw in a bag of basketballs.
Murray scored
sir.
50. Murray scored 55 points last week.
And about $40 million.
Drives me insane. He drives me insane. But we'll see.
He's an enigma.
Look, I think Milwaukee's is going to be tough to beat in the playoffs. I think Boston will re-engage and step up. I think Cleveland's the real deal, and I think Memphis is also a team that you got to look out for. I think there's a lot of good teams, and we could see some upsets going on, especially if some of these lower ranking teams. I mean, do you want to play Luka and LeBron if they're an 8 seed?
No.
And who knows what's going to happen with Dallas? Of course, I think it's funny that second game in, Anthony Davis gets hurt. I mean, it's
Yeah, right.
Fat Luka's out of shape and can't play, but Anthony Davis gets there and second game in, he's hurt.
That's true.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, we'll see how it happens, but I wouldn't.
But they should get rid of the
even Joker. We
All-Star
said it too.
game.
Joker even said a few weeks back
Yeah.
that he thinks
He thinks the Knicks are one of the top teams in the league.
absolutely.
Yeah. And he's not wrong.
He's not.
But they have to get rid of the All-Star game. They just have to get rid of the All-Star game.
Well,
This
fortunately,
whole-
us Net fans
whatever
don't have
it
to worry
was,
about any of this.
And I can't wait for Steph Curry to retire. He's another guy I just hate. I just hate him. Everything about him with his stupid mouthpiece. God, if they win, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green.
I honestly, if we get to the
unlikable
championship series
maybe.
and it's the Warriors with them, no. I don't think it's going to happen anyway. I think Oklahoma's too good, and honestly, I think there's still some spark from a couple other teams that are in there. I really do.
All right, so let's. Are we transitioning here?
Yes.
For the first time ever, I want to talk about hockey.
Before we transition to hockey, I have
yeah,
sports trivia
listen,
questions of the week for you.
Oh, okay. I didn't get the itinerary.
Yeah, I got sports trivia questions of the week for you.
Nobody did.
No, nobody did. Nobody did.
I didn't get the show notes.
I don't have the. I didn't have the crawls either.
I didn't tell you guys what I was doing. I didn't
what
expect you to tell me what you were doing.
Seeing it, but anyway, I have an NBA and NFL. I should have done this NFL transitioning into NBA, but we'll do NBA first. So my question to you is this: it's a 3-parter for the NBA.
Oh God!
All right, and we'll go back and forth with the 3
write
parts.
it down.
You can write it down if you want. You don't have to. It's easy to remember. It's one question.
I just like back in the day. We go write it down.
Write it down, folks. Write it down.
20 minutes from now, I'll give you the answer.
Write this down. Write this down.
No, that was just your
names.
Those were just your opinions.
I know.
That wasn't a question.
I know.
I'm going to give you
4 got to go.
I'm going to give you 23 names.
19
You're
have
going
to
to
be
keep 17 of them.
ranked
Write these down.
by the year they retired. Good height.
Have to be ranked
Does anybody?
by and height.
All right, here we go. It's a 3-part. Here we go.
That was my question. Your question was, who was the quarterback on the last Jets Super Bowl winning team?
Well, who was the quarterback on the Jets' last Super Bowl winning team? It was Chad Pennington. Very good. Very good. All right.
Chad Pennington.
Whatchamacallit. What teams played in the very first NBA game?
Philadelphia and Boston, right?
All right. So Harry's locked in at Philadelphia and Boston. I'm going to put that in here. PHI and BOS. Pete?
I'll say, yeah, that actually sounds right to me. But I'll say Boston and
right. So Boston and Milwaukee. So Pete, you say the Celtics versus the Bucks. Harry, you say the 76ers versus the
whatever they were. I don't even know.
Whatever they were,
the Warriors. It might have been the Philadelphia Warriors.
Philadelphia Warriors. Versus the
Celtics.
Not you are both wrong.
Of course we are.
It was
it Princeton or something?
It was the Toronto Huskies.
Oh, versus the
New
Ottawa
York
Rough
Knicks.
Riders. Okay.
The New York Knicks played in the very first NBA game.
So there was a Toronto team in the first season.
The first 2 teams to play an NBA game.
Well, when did the Toronto team go away? When did the Toronto
I will get that actually.
We don't need that right
I got to pull it up for you. But
tune in next week for the answer.
Yeah, exactly. But if part 2 of the question is, what year was it?
If you
1947.
Pete?
Yeah.
All right. Harry's closer. It was 1946. November 1st, 1946.
Come on. 1 year off. Jesus.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. No, if Pete had said 46, then it would have been better than you, right? But 45, the same, right? And who won?
Well, I'll say the Knicks.
Pete?
You said Toronto.
You said Toronto? Okay, the Knicks won. The Knicks won 68-66. So the New York Knicks won the very first NBA game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
There you go.
Patrick Ewing had 28, 12, and 14 turnovers.
It was Charles Barkley, actually.
Charles Barkley played for the Knicks?
Charles Barkley played for the Knicks.
Yeah.
38.
That's great.
And no, Charles Barkley Sr. He played for the Knicks.
Listen, you really want your on a completely different
Charles Bronson played for the Knicks.
You really want your mind blown. Look up the actual look up the actual beginnings of the NHL, you know, the original.
So the original 6 weren't
not at all what we led the.
So the original 6, as far as I'm to know it, the original 6 are the Rangers, the Bruins, the Red Wings, the Blackhawks, the Maple Leafs, and the Canadiens.
Yeah, there are other teams that were in the NHL first. a couple teams
fair enough.
that want to
More on that. We'll
but
research that. And we'll talk
The
about that.
funny part is the Toronto Huskies played both basketball and NHL. Same players.
They did.
Same knee pads.
They did. And the managing director of the Huskies was Lou Heyman. He was the coach and general manager of the Alouettes and the future president of the Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Didn't he also coach the Devils for a bunch of years?
Yeah. They were founded in 46, and the Toronto Huskies folded in 1947.
Wow,
So they were 1 year.
Good.
They played 1 year. There you go.
Wow.
And that was their logo right there.
You drew it? Oh.
I did. when I was minus 20 years old.
That was horrible. All right. Well, there you go.
Anyway, so all right, and I'll throw the other one at you that I was going to do the NFL, or whatever. I'll just give it to you now. I'm not going to save it. What quarterback had the most career rushing yards with 6,109 yards?
Like currently?
Of all time.
Of all time.
Which quarterback in NFL history had the most career rushing yards with 6,109 yards?
Is it Tarkenton?
Harry says Tarkenton. Oh, what does Pete say?
Forward and backwards.
Yeah. Well, then it's a no-brainer. It's Tarkenton.
Forward and backwards.
It's definitely Fran Tarkenton.
It sounds kind of a low number for Tarkenton. If that, I'll say
Sid Lickman.
I think I remember looking at this more recently, and I think it's somebody more current.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's neither Sid Luckman nor is it Fran Tarkenton. It is.
Give us a hint. Give us a hint.
Ruff.
He was a dog. Who let the dogs out?
That should be the easiest hint that I
Baja Man.
A bark? I don't know what that means. There's no dog teams in the NFL, is there?
No teams. However, this guy might
The
have
dog
been
pound?
involved with dogs at some point.
Oh, Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. There you go.
That would have been the dog crying.
Oh, Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say a dog.
No, I can make it. I can make a dog. I can do a
No.
dog bark. I
Hey.
can't do a dog being strangled. So.
Yeah. I don't think anybody wants that.
Exactly.
Don't bark.
Who's number 2?
Dog strangling. We'll work on it.
I
pal.
don't know.
Next
Who's
time you
number
get a
2?
reference
Another
Michael
game
Vick,
that
down
sewer
there.
workers play on a regular basis.
No, they play. Is that number 2?
And who's number 1? Gets boring, exactly.
When who's number 1 gets bored.
No, those are the only 2. So we can go on to
All right,
NHL
so,
and talk about. And
any
Harry, let's talk
other
about
trivia questions?
the Four Nations face off.
All right.
100%.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about because
Mhm.
we were talking about the NFL All-Star Game and All-Star Games in general, basic talk. I thought, even being a non-hockey fan, I thought the NHL's was one of the more interesting ones, at least to me, because I don't skate. And again, it wasn't appointment television for me, but I enjoyed kind of watching the skills competition. That's
Except for when Wemby was trying to
at least as impressive as shooting pointers
fill
or
it
anything
in, but-
like that for me. So, well, but I mean, was the attendance like what prompted the NHL to say?
Here's
can't
what I
have a
think that
regular- I know they had like 17.
here's
goals
where
a
I
game
think the
last year,
NHL was
something like
finally
that.
smart. They realized that they had
What
an
was the reason they said
opportunity.
we gotta do
They
something?
timed it perfectly. It was after the Super Bowl, kind of right before the NBA All-Star Game, which has lost momentum. They saw an opportunity to get some eyes on the game, and by making it the national teams, I think they did a smart thing. I think that it was good timing in the current political climate, especially with Canada and the United States. And I think that for me, it just happened to be that the NHL was talked about on an equal playing field because football was done, baseball hadn't started yet, the free agents, melee was over. Basketball, the All-Star Game again has become so insignificant that the NHL kind of took center stage. And the games were great. It's not over yet. Obviously, the finals tomorrow. But look, Canada, United States. The one beef I have with it is that you can't have a league of or the four nations and not include Russia, and that's also political. Why there's not a Russian team? Right. But having said that, I think it's interesting, and it's interesting that the U.S. team has performed as well as they did. They kind of shit the bed in the last game, which didn't really mean anything, but we'll see what happens. And
they're going to play Canada in the.
They're going to play Canada in the finals.
They
kind of whooped Canada after kind of digging a hole for themselves.
3 fights in the first 9 seconds of the game. Yeah. So
here's my question. Here's my question to you guys: who do you think wins? I have my thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you guys have.
U.S.
Okay. I think Canada's too talented to not at least make this.
I'd say Canada
a really interesting.
It's going to be a closer game than Saturday night was.
I think Canada wins.
The U.S. wins.
I think Canada wins. I hope the U.S. wins. Not that I really care. Part of me right now kind of wants Canada.
Half of every team is Canadian, so what's the difference?
But
I mean, if Canada wins, the U.S. wins anyway. I mean,
here's what it's re-engaged in me. When I was a really young kid, and the Olympics were amateurs, and with the whole 1980 U.S. hockey team, I really was into who was playing on the national teams, and then I followed their careers when they got into the NHL for a pretty long time. I'm going to be clear. I am not as, if you would have told me the Kachucks were American, or you would have told me the Kachucks were Czech, I wouldn't have known. I just don't know. I don't have that depth of knowledge, that I do with other sports. So it was kind of interesting to sort of sit there and watch this. I was more interested in watching these nations play each other, these national teams play each other, than watching the Winnipeg Jets, if they're even still around, play, whoever. So my question is that they need to do this in the NBA.
That's still around.
There needs to be the U.S. versus an international team all-star game. And they need to make it mean something. It can't be an exhibition. It needs to be the U.S. versus the world. Or, maybe break it up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know.
But what sort of stakes do you put on it? That would be my general.
Because national pride.
I agree. That would be great. But why do these things have to?
I'd rather see that than the stupid
downfall.
Whatever mid-season tournament thing or whatever that. Yeah.
Listen, that's been popular.
Wemby, Luka, Jokic
did nothing for me as a casual basketball.
LeBron and the top Kevin Durant and SGA is going to wind up playing on the international team.
Yeah.
I think it's must-see basketball. Right. I think it's must-see basketball.
Yeah, that would certainly be more interesting than, but it should be
just pride. But
be any.
All you have to do is say, "Hey guys, we want you to actually play the game. We don't want you to hurt anybody. We don't want, but play the game. It's not an exhibition. It's a game." And I think that's what you saw in hockey.
Right. Well, and you know what? If you want to get them, do that. Yeah.
Look,
make there be a payout.
Let me flip the question.
Let me to a charity.
Right.
You guys are playing for $1 million.
That's not going to motivate them.
And
I don't think.
USA
I like the idea.
It's going to go here.
Like
if the international
let me flip the question.
Go to that charity.
Why they didn't need to do that for the hockey?
I think it will.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you playing for your nation, for your national team, that's motivation enough.
I think it's. I agree. Well, I don't agree. That's necessarily going to be the case with everyone.
I agree.
Hockey.
That's my point. I think. Yeah. You summarized what I was trying to be. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think better.
A little bit.
I mean, what motivates basketball players more than anything else?
You got to give them a little something extra. Good press. I'm saying if you're not going to pay them, maybe a nominal fee for being there.
Yeah, you know what?
That's
That's the thing.
They
You
make a
make-
big deal.
Let
out
me
of it,
ask. Let me ask you. Let me
whatever
ask
the
you guys a
charity
question.
is.
Everybody's
Make
healthy.
a wish or whatever. Kids come out and you present
Who wins,
a
Team
big
USA
check.
or Team World? Yeah,
Yeah.
by a lot.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing Giannis, Jokic, and Wemby coming down the floor with SGA and Luka. Holy fucking shit! Right. Well, you might have to make it Team North America. You might have to
Then
give
then
the
you have
US
to watch
Canada.
things don't get chippy.
And then we'll find out where Joel Embiid sits. Which team Joel Embiid decides to sit for.
Yeah. No, yeah. Now where he sits, where he decides to sit for. Exactly.
Yes, throw 4 or 5 darts at
Yeah.
Well, listen, we
don't know.
Well, I don't know if Kyrie makes it anyway.
He's Team
but,
Mars.
you know how I feel about him as a player, but he wants to.
J.R. Smith will come back for that.
Now?
I think JB Smoove would come back before.
I think one of these days we
it's
should go
the
back
USA
to our
against
all-time
the solar
starting
system.
nut job, all-time NBA nut job starting 5.
There you go. By the way, quick aside, going back to the sports trivia question, I went to look up number 2 for you. The stats I had were from pre this past season.
Yeah.
So Michael Vick is actually number 2.
Yeah, because now it's
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar
Jackson's number 1
blow it all out of
with 6,173 yards so far, and he's got plenty of years to go.
Well, let's hope so.
Michael Vick is number 2. Number 3 is Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Newton
put up some big numbers.
53, 56, 31.
What was Cam Newton's size too? Was he like 6'4", like 250?
He's big. Yeah. He's big. Number 4 is still playing.
Number 4 is probably Mahomes.
No. Mahomes isn't even on the list, I don't think.
Yeah.
Mahomes not in the top 25.
Number 4 is rushing.
Yeah. He's still playing. Russell Wilson.
Yeah. There you
go. Yep. He's 54. He's only less than 200 behind Cam Newton. And
Russell Wilson's in his like 16th year.
Something like that. So if Russell Wilson continues to play for another year or two, he'll overtake Cam Newton. And rounding up the number 5, he has 4,928 yards all time. And you want to guess who that is?
Kenny Stabler.
No. He played in the 80s.
Dan Fouts.
Played in the 80s and 90s.
Randall Cunningham.
Yep.
Daniel Jones.
I think Dan Fouts had negative 18 yards rushing in his career.
Dan Fouts
maybe more.
Dan Fouts is not in the top.
I bet Dan Fouts had negative.
Just not reading the yards, just reading the players.
I never remember Dan Fouts rushing number 1 and never gaining a yard. Now he got sacked.
Dan Fouts has negative yards.
Negative, without a doubt.
Yeah.
He was like, "Fuck that, I'm not running."
Yeah.
He might have.
So not giving the yards, just to give you the numbers really, just to give you the names really quick. Number 6 is Steve Young. Number 7 is Josh Allen. So he'll move up on the list.
Yeah, Young did it in a relatively few amount of years.
He did. Number 8, Harry, you were right with Fran Tarkenton. He was number 8. He's number 8 on the list. Number 9, Steve McNair. Number 10, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I know Tarkenton when he retired was far ahead of everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 11, Donovan McNabb. 12, Mr. Elway.
Yeah.
13, still playing, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
4,
well, 65% of it is the 17 tush pushes they do.
Yeah. Really good. What you call it? Number 14, Tobin Rote.
Yeah, that's an old school guy.
Yeah, he played 13 years. He's a two-team
Bears?
NFL championship. He played for the He played for the Packers.
Packers. I knew it was
Played for the Packers. Packers and the Chargers.
That guy.
Chargers. Wow.
Yeah. Chargers. End of his career when the Chargers first came in the 60s. 15, Kyler Murray. 16, Jim Harbaugh.
That's surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
He played. He played a lot more than you think he did.
He did. Yeah.
Played for a bunch of
design runs for Jim Harbaugh.
Exactly. Number 17, Greg Landry.
That's old school, right?
Yeah. He played for the
Dallas,
Lions, Colts, and the Bears.
I think we're stopping right now.
I'm getting to one person.
Yeah, John wants to talk about some Giants.
No Giants.
Jeff Hostetler is 112. So we only have a few ways to go.
Number 18, Bobby Douglas.
Of course, yeah.
Who played back in the 70s for the Bears and the Saints.
Yeah. A lot of anybody on the Bears automatically is going to have a lot of rushing yards because they're always rushing. Jim McMahon didn't even want to run and had rushing yards. 19, Dante Culpepper. Yeah, there you go.
And 20, Ryan Fitzpatrick, actually.
Yeah, well.
There you go. And there you go.
And
21, I'll just 21, Cordell Stewart's 21, Alex Smith's 22, Justin Fields, who isn't a good player. He's 22 on the list.
I didn't say he wasn't a good player.
In 4 years, he's 23 on the list.
Yeah, how many Super Bowls does he have?
That would be same amount as a lot of other people on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Lane.
Yeah, so the
Lane,
correlation between winning and rushing quarterback means 0.
Night Train Lane is number 24.
Night Train Lane.
And Rich Gannon.
4-time Super Bowl MVP.
There you go. And Rich Gannon is number 25. So there you go.
Yeah.
Rich Gannon.
I think that's the stat he has.
When he's selling them a Lexus. Yeah.
Rich Gannon, number 25.
I'm Rich Gannon, number 25 all-time rushing those quarterbacks. Right behind.
What are you drinking there, Mike?
Right behind
Dante
Bobby Night Train Lane.
Dante Culpepper.
All right. So we got another for real.
Rich Gannon had a couple really good seasons, actually.
Yeah, listen, I'm
pretty sure he went to Super Bowl.
He did go to a Super Bowl.
He went to Super Bowl. So
he did. He lost.
He lost to his former coach.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He lost. Yeah.
There you go. We got another for real.
You know who wasn't on that list? Tom Brady, Roger Staubach, Terry Bradshaw.
We got another for real.
Joe Montana. Yeah. Anyway, I rest my case.
Yeah, how did you pick Staubach?
Right.
Roger Staubach didn't run either.
Yeah, how does Rich Gannon have more rushing?
Roger Staubach didn't have a long career.
Scramble. He was the first. He was one of the first quarterbacks to take advantage of the shotgun. Yeah, he did because he was back and forth with in the
war.
Craig Morton.
Yeah,
and
he had to do his naval service.
He did his naval service, and then he retired. And Danny White, right? Danny White.
All right, we're losing people.
So anyway.
The only thing worse than Dante Culpepper is talking about Danny White.
Anyway, there you go. Anyway,
by the way, yes, go ahead. He was also the punter and the quarterback.
All right.
Anyway,
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah. What is real?
All right, what is real and what is not real? A couple of them for you today. One baseball, one. First up, let's do baseball. Is the Yankee facial hair policy, the famous no facial hair policy, for real anymore, or can we get with the times and stop?
Well, they kind of
idiotic.
It is real because it still exists, and quite honestly. I'll shave my ass. I'll shave my asshole for the amount of money that they're fucking paying these guys.
Yeah, but there's some people that don't want to. So I personally think that this was a George thing, not necessarily a Hal thing. Hal's obviously perpetuating it, but I think this was a George thing, and George
it existed before Steinbrenner.
Did it? It went back to CBS. It went back to CBS before.
Yeah, because you look at the old Yankees guys, none of them ever had any.
Well, it doesn't mean that it was a policy. It just
I think it was. I think it might have been. I think it
developed
maybe
into a policy.
I think in the 70s, Steinbrenner had to make it official because everybody was,
That's my point, right? It wasn't a policy. It was kind of a given, but it wasn't a policy, and then it became one under George. But,
I quite honestly, I don't care. So part of me kind of likes it, like the Giants not having cheerleaders. Part of me sort of likes that. But as a guy who knows that nobody wants me shaving my beard off, I understand that part of it.
Which one?
What do you mean, which beard?
Never mind.
I don't understand. I only have one beard. The other one's a mullet.
The other one's a mullet.
The other one's baby. The other areas are baby smooth.
There you go.
I follow the Steinbrenner rules down there. That's all Steinbrenner. That's right.
Yeah. You can. Your lower half could play for the Yankees any day.
Yeah.
Well, they could have a mustache.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of like, all right,
mustaches are allowed. It's the beard. It's the
buddy grow.
And you can't have hair. You can't have hair below the collar.
The three of us could never play for the Yankees.
But you could have tattoos on your face.
That's that's fine.
Yeah.
That would probably.
I'm gonna call Marcus Stroman. I'm gonna ask him, hey, tattoo a beard on your face. See if that flies.
Well, he's got almost enough of it with his do-rag and his. I like Stroman. I don't know why they didn't use him in the. They didn't pitch him in the play. I don't understand. Anyway,
give us a reason to hate you.
He's
all right.
Smallest pitcher
next up,
since Rod Guidry, though.
Are they for real? Is it for real? We're talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. If Kelce retires, will it survive? Does Taylor Swift
give her
really
more
want to
credit.
be with
I'm going to give her way
ex-footballer
more credit than that.
who lost his final game, didn't, or?
Well,
here's the thing. I don't think she's going. I don't think she's going to like. If he retires next month,
albums.
Right. I don't think. Right. I don't think she's going to. If he retires
or,
next month, I don't think she's breaking up with him the next day. Right.
Well,
but I think it fades. I really do because
I think it fades. But her next album is a prog rock album based on her astrological chart. So it has nothing to do with any boyfriends. So
and it's a remake of "Leave That Thing Alone."
Yeah, no, that's a horrible song. It's more early Genesis.
All right.
Yeah. I think so. For a while.
I don't think it. No. Does it survive for a while? Yeah, maybe. But does it like get married and have kids and live happily ever after? I don't think so.
Nothing survives forever anymore. Yeah. Happily ever after doesn't exist. Sorry. If it does, then great. But well, yeah, I'm the wrong person to talk to about that.
But I'm not gonna.
All right, there you go.
All right, yeah,
okay.
That's about it.
It's gonna be weird. I
I
hope
do
so.
have one other thing I want to bring up. So I don't. Well,
of course.
Angel Reese was on Lisa.
So
Lisa Reese on Angel
Lisa
Smith.
Leslie was on Angel,
and Angel Hernandez was also.
Angel Reese was on Lisa Leslie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lisa was obviously also throwing her lots of love and blah blah blah. But she did say one thing that I thought was interesting.
She's gonna fix her. She's gonna make her better. She's
proud
gonna
of
fix her
Angel
layup.
Reese, for
She'll fix
game,
it,
and she has to fix her layup. For her words. Now, you're in the professional
100%.
basketball league, and you need to fix layup. Which here's the really sad part.
Mm-hmm.
So
All
Leslie's absolutely
Let me
right. Watch Angel Reese.
I know.
44.5.
Let me take this one.
That's her shooting.
Okay.
She misses left and right. She has no vertical, and that's why she gets all those rebounds.
Dennis.
Let me just ask this question. How do you get to that level if you can't lay? Doesn't she have a couple of national championships?
Neither does Angel Reese necessarily. So in that case,
Dennis
Angel Reese
Rodman
has higher averages than Dennis Rodman as a complete player, because she has
Angel
almost
Reese
as many
is
rebounds
just,
and scores more points. Dennis Rodman could not make a layup, is my point. He I remember him actually working on that
really a defensive
when he went to the Spurs. That's how bad he was. Okay. Yeah. I think Angel Reese it does have a very high impact
Angel
player.
Reese disrupt
Do
the
I
game the way
think
Dennis
Angel
Rodman.
Reese is as good as Angel Reese thinks she is? No.
No.
But she is one of the best two-way players in the WNBA. She's a double-double machine.
Let's say she's one of the better two-way players in the NBA.
As an overall player, she's top 25.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll put her as one of the better players in the WNBA.
double thing.
I wouldn't put her as one of the best players.
She's a good defensive player.
Overall.
I think she is a pretty good defensive player. She's a good offensive rebounder. She gets a lot of her own misses.
I think she has.
Look, does she have room to improve? Without a doubt. But
yeah,
she had a pretty good rookie year.
Pretty much all she does.
Look,
she has no vertical game.
People have made her out to be the villain. She didn't help the cause very much back in the when they beat Iowa to win the championship 2 years ago. I feel like there's she has become a target of hate, and I don't like it. There's a lot of other players we could pick on. Angel Reese has become a target, just as Caitlin Clark has become a target for the other side, and it's somewhat racial, and I don't like it. So that's the part of criticizing Angel Reese that I don't like. It's the same part about why they both become. Look, they're the Larry and Magic of the WNBA. They've come in and they're not talent-wise, but I'm saying they have brought more eyes together, those two, to the WNBA than any duo that's come in at the same time in the history of that league.
He's not wrong.
And hold on.
It's polarizing.
They are both role models.
Yeah,
whether you like it or not, they are both role models.
I don't feel like Angel.
Do I think Angel Reese has a lot of areas to improve upon? Yes. Do I think Angel Reese made her team better by her being on it? Without a doubt. And Angel Reese, what's that? Well, they didn't suck, but they didn't make, yeah. But
they still suck,
but she brought a lot of people to the seats.
The Chicago guys sucked.
And so did Dennis Rodman.
They weren't good.
So I think she is the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA, and that's not an insult. I think that she does a lot of intangible things. I do think she's actually a pretty good defensive player. I think in years to come, is she gonna ever become Lisa Leslie? No. But she does need to improve her low post game, and she needs to if she can make those layups and those 5 to 10 foot shots, she's gonna add 6-7 points a game to her game and become much more efficient. So I get it. I understand, but there's other people we could talk about who have similar challenges in the WNBA. And I do think she's brought a little bit of this on herself because she's very direct and open, and she does not have a low opinion of herself. Good for her. And I think there's yeah. Well,
yeah, that's fine. I think borderline delusion. Okay, but I see there's so many things about her game that are just so awkward, and she just doesn't have a smooth shot. She doesn't have, when she's not right at, does one thing and one thing well, and I just it.
I think if you put her on a team
bugs me a
filled
little
with
bit
2 or 3 other
because
good
I
or
think you're right,
star
there is a racial
players,
element.
you put her on Liberty, you put
Getting
her
a lot
on
of love
that
I don't.
who's the team that won it 2 in a row? The Lynx. I mean, she's a difference maker. I think right now she's trying to be, she's put in a position where maybe it's a lot for her to shoulder right now. But I do think her game will improve. And I do think she brings more to the box. She brings more to the game than her box score. And look, she's exceeded what people thought she was going to do. Nobody thought she was going to score in double-digit points and have double-digit rebounds in her rookie year. They just didn't. So,
yeah. All right. So.
All right. Shaq did too.
I don't imagine they figured 45%.
Yeah.
Listen, I wish her well, and I'm not a hater.
I think some people are fawning over her and are giving her maybe more credit than what she deserves from a skill standpoint and a performance standpoint. I also think, but I think on the flip side, she gets far more criticism just for being who she is and not her play.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
She is a lightning rod for criticism, and a lot of it, I've seen, a lot of it is really horribly racist.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some.
Just like the criticism against Caitlin Clark is too, from the other direction.
Yeah, and she's done things. Yeah, but she's also
exactly.
Yeah, and but she's also she's done things that
Dennis Rodman did the same thing.
Shake your head.
Dennis Rodman did a swim.
Again, Dennis Rodman. She didn't marry herself.
Not that she shouldn't. Not that she shouldn't be.
It was nice. It was a nice bikini. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
I think.
Pete, you have anything else? All right, Harry, you got anything you want to end with? All right.
Nope.
Well, there you go. On that note, we will wrap up the show for today. I want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch every other Wednesday around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as everywhere that you find your audio podcasts. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. By the way, new feed, Pandora. We weren't on Pandora. We're now on Pandora. Just added on to everywhere else. So there you go. But again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Watch your sports and watch your NBA. Watch your sports. Watch your sports.
You guys go watch your sports. Make
There
yourself
you
a
go.
sandwich and watch.
Enjoy spring training, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks, folks. Take
Watch
care.
your sports and watch your ass.
Look at the little Tula. She's talking to the producer there. And a man in a jumpsuit throws her a grapefruit. By George,